Today's thought comes from the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 28, 29, and 30. It says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I'll give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." In these verses, Jesus calls all who feel burdened and all who feel weary. So many times, all of us, I believe, we feel burdened and we feel weary at some point in life, because the burden of sin rests upon each and every one of us. The Bible says, "For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God." And so the fact that we have all sinned in life, we cannot escape the burden of sin in life. So our hearts grow weary, we feel burdened. But Jesus calls us and He says, if you have this feeling, come to me and I'll give you rest. He says you'll find rest for your souls. Jesus goes on ahead and says, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle, humble in heart, and you'll find rest for your souls." In this promise, Jesus teaches a very important lesson, and it's a lesson of humility and being humble. He says, if you want rest for your souls, come to me and learn from me. We know Jesus Christ, a humble being who came from heaven, and He was equipped with all knowledge of our salvation. So He calls us and He says, come to me humbly in heart, ready to learn from me. I will give you the knowledge that will bring peace, joy, and rest to your souls. So if you feel burdened with the load of life, burdened with sin, burdened with guilty conscience, burdened with all kinds of addictions, come to Jesus and He will give you rest. Jesus said, "Come to me." In this statement, Jesus meant that it is our duty to come to Him. Those who feel burdened, those who feel weary with the weight of sin, we are to come to Him. When Jesus Christ was saving Peter from sinking, He said, "Come." When Jesus Christ was calling His disciples to the way of salvation, He said, "Come and follow me." In the same manner, Jesus calls us today and He says, "Come to me." And those who came received salvation, received rest for their souls. So if we can come to Jesus Christ today, the burden of sin that is resting upon us, the weight of all our problems, the weight of the guilty conscience that we carry, and all the addictions that are inflicting a burden on us, Jesus Christ will take them away, and we will find rest for our souls. Rest which is good, rest which is sweet. Jesus says again, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble, and you'll find rest for your souls, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light." These days in which Jesus spoke this statement were the days of the Pharisees. The Pharisees had lost sight of the commandments of God, and they had added so much unto them. And so it was a burden to keep the true commandments of God. But when Jesus Christ came, He said, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me." Jesus wanted to remove the yoke that the Pharisees had placed on the people. And so the people were so heavy to carry on life with peace and joy. This is when Jesus came in and He said, "Take my yoke upon you." The yoke of the Pharisees, put down and take my yoke upon you. The yoke of Jesus Christ is the yoke of love. He says in 1 John chapter 5 verse 3, "This is love for God, if you obey me and keep my commands, for my commandments are not burdensome." So the yoke of Jesus Christ is light. The yoke of Jesus Christ is not burdensome. Why? Because it is a yoke of love. All we have to do is love Jesus Christ and be humble, ready to learn the knowledge of our salvation, the knowledge of our rest. Life will be easy, and life will be a life of rest and joy and peace.